anyways, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't keep a spare fan on the truck usually. Usually there's signs that those fans are starting to go. Depending on how the fan sits, it'll disconnect or reconnect or whatever. So luckily that winery was only 25 minutes from the house, so I asked Angie to run one out to me. She was able to find it and
saved your day.
Save the. I mean, I could have managed just cracking the door a little bit here and there, and keeping an eye on things. But the winery was slamming that night, and he said that's normal, nice weather crowd for this time of year. He said once we get to summer and it's good weather, he said it'll be double that crowd. Yeah.
More dates booked.
We do. We have, I think 5 or 6. He was fantastic. Their whole crew was fantastic. We met another new food truck owner who was, I think, friends with them or also was doing some stuff with them. Walk Me Up. That's an Asian.
Walk. I see what you did there.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he was super interested in what we were doing and wanted some advice on some things. I turned him onto the podcast, gave him a card, and maybe we'll have him on at some point too. I'll see if he reaches out to me actually. But yeah, that was a great day. And then Trail Point Brewing yesterday, with it being 78 and sun, or not 78, 73 and sunny here in the west side of the state, it was banging. So we definitely can finally start to see some potential in that booking.
Made for a good week.
Yeah, we it was a good week. Hold on, I got to get to some of these comments over here. Justin says they keep an 8-inch fan plugged in, blowing on the exhaust for their 9500. JT says you will only do it once as far as the missed events. He says they missed a 250 person military catering due to a date confusion. That would be right up there with a wedding, is to miss it for the military.
I'd poop myself. Like I literally would just shit.
I felt like vomiting for the rest of the evening.
I would. Yeah.
Bernie says, do you take requests and communicate with clients through text, Facebook messages, and emails? One piece of advice would be to point everyone to your emails for communication, one designated spot. I try to as much as I can, Bernie. I do my best not to do anything over the phone without an email immediately following. Because phone calls are the worst for me. Anything in person is awful. Mostly because I don't have anywhere to write it down while I'm on the phone. But usually when like for Facebook messages and stuff like that, when I do our invoices through Square in the notes sections, I will also add in where the conversation has been had. Mm-hmm. Typically, but for that and for this community event in Jenison that I was talking about at the elementary school, clearly there was no contract. There was we don't invoice or anything like that. So, it's just on me and I fucked up. So, yeah. So 5 out of 6 days, really solid. One day there was not so super awesome.
So you're supposed to get your adapter today for your generator.
Yep. So I have that 4-prong twist lock to a 50 amp plug for the adapter. Skippy tells me to throw that thing over to 240 and it'll split off to two 110 legs, and I'll get 110 or 120, 110, 120 coming out of my 110 outlets, and not 240 coming out of those outlets. I only half believe him. So I have all of my.
Whatever, you can half believe me all you want.
I have my voltage meter ready to go. I will get down to a 110 extension cord off of the Predator to test the voltage before I plug anything into the trailer. Because, Skippy, the only reason I only half believe you is because I've had so many issues. This is not the first time I've had a surge go through my trailer where it's knocked out equipment.
Understand.
On people that have told me, yep, it's good solid 120. And the worst thing to hear when you plug in is popping.
So the worst thing that's ever happened to me with that generator is that the twist lock somehow came untwisted and it arced.
No.
And that's how I fried my the fridge that you gave me.
Gotcha.
I had to replace. That's the only thing that's ever happened. But yeah, I talked to a lot of people before I bought the generator to make sure it would work.
Yeah.
And I even turned on somebody who had a Predator. I actually saw something really interesting on Friday. It's a grilled cheese trailer. It's probably about 16, 18 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Generator box up front, right? It had two tandem Honda 7000s. I'm like, what are you running that needs that much power?
Sandwich presses, I'm guessing. Our panini
No.
presses used a ton.
They
Did
have
you see the flat griddle?
Yeah, they have a griddle.
Maybe it was an electric griddle.
Well, could have been. I guess I don't remember seeing propane, but I think there was. I don't know.
Yeah.
But still, that's...
Yeah, JT says it wasn't fun sitting at home and getting the call to see if you're running late, and then the realization sets in. Yeah, it was. Those are bad days.
You ever go through your calendar and you look at a date, and the date just clicks in your head, and you look to see what's on it, and you're like, "There's something I'm missing."
All the time.
So you go through your calendar, you go through your emails, you just search for June 14th or June whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. June's are a very tough date for me.
So one thing I don't like about Square's invoices and the search, it's the searchability for me. So I went in and searched because we had a couple requests come through for June 1st. There's nothing on either of my calendars. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a search for June 1st because we do all our data services on our invoices. Mm-hmm. And you can't do it. You can't search
for data service.
You can put in a date. I don't know what date it's looking for.
Exactly.
But it's not data service. So yeah, and I even did a good test on an event that I knew we had. I was like, and it still wouldn't pull it up. So yeah, there's some searchability issues that I wish Square had. But yeah. So let's before we get to I don't know if anybody commented on our Facebook for today on worst days. But before we get, if you want to look in that, Skippy, real quick while I pull up Square on mine.
And then we can talk about Barker's overrated.
Oh yeah, we'll get into brisket talk. Let's see.
No, it's just that. Hold on. All right, Monday morning food truckers. Why did you that way? That way.
Oh, our guest from last week.
She got scared.
Nope, she did not. And she wanted to make sure that we knew that it was not intentional, that she was having problems. She really wants to be on. She wanted to make sure that we weren't upset with her. So we tried to reschedule for this Monday and to do a test run with her equipment yesterday to make sure that she could get on and everything. And there's something with her phone that Apple doesn't like it. It keeps telling her to allow access to her phone, access to her camera. It takes her to the page where the camera is, and everything's marked.
Apple sucks.
Apple's Apple. So she has a computer coming. She should be any day. So we're hoping to have her on next week, everybody.
We do not have any comments today regarding worst days.
Okay. Well, I'm glad everybody's had such awesome freaking days since they've opened.
I saw that our good friend Bubba sold out this weekend too. So
yeah, make more food, Bubba.
Yeah, no shit.
Leaving sales on the table. So you, Skippy, ran a couple of specials this week.
Oh, we had a lot of specials, just because it was restaurant week. And
how'd they go?
The Texas Twinkie sandwich went well. Everybody said they thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't get much feedback on the elote brisket sandwich. I liked it. I don't know if I'd get it again. Brisket Philly was very, very popular.
How were you doing that?
8-inch.
Same way that we do?
8-inch seeded roll. Kept in the warmer to keep it soft.
So you're doing like a hoagie roll?
Yeah, you can call it a hoagie roll. Italian roll, maybe.
It's not an 8-inch round. It's...
Yeah, hoagie roll.
Yeah. So it's a submarine shape, not a hamburger bun shape.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for, yes.
And they... So... brisket in that, and then topped it with cheese sauce, peppers and onions, little horsey sauce to go on top. It's really good. And then the carnivore sandwich, which is basically all three meats, chicken, pork, and brisket on one, with some pepper jack cheese.
Okay.
That was the specials. But the Texas Twinkie sandwich, everybody loved.
Excellent. So are you gonna run that more, or is that gonna be a one-time thing?
I think so. I think it's
Which one?
it's kind of on the more expensive size, expensive side, but
Yeah.
because
But
each one of
you're
the
charging accordingly, though, right?
yeah, each one of these was a $15 sandwich.
Okay.
But I think so. I think the people. Oh, yeah, the people want us to keep it on there. They want us to run that one more per. And then the Tipsy Texan that we have, which is jalapenos and brisket and coleslaw, was for some reason very popular this week.
Okay. Well, good. All right, let's talk some numbers for. We're halfway through April. Happy tax day, everybody! Don't forget to get your business taxes done. So we've been open for just about a month now, since we were about mid-March. Skippy had a pretty sizable lead on us for sales for the year when we started, and we've been slowly chipping away. But so far this month, versus last April, we're currently up 31% through the first 15 days. So yeah, things are very good right now. We were up 18% just last week over the previous week, over spring break week. So that's awesome. And then for the year,
we're up 62%, by the way.
Year to year.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a difference when you're open a whole month longer.
Shut up.
Than you were the previous year. So our year to year, we're down 4.7% still. But that's because last winter we were open January, February, and the first part of March weekends, and this year we're not. So we're trying to when we were on our opening day, we were down, or after the first couple of weeks, we were down 40% still. So we're making some good gains there. Really, we're only down $2,300. So we have another good week, and we'll have that erased. But yeah, for the year so far, we're at 46,600 in sales.
What? Jesus.
Skippy, did we pass you?
Yep.
I love you, buddy.
Nah. I've been slower. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you've always been a little slower.
I know. I'm at 39.9.
Nice work, bud.
Yeah, but that's also being open like every week, every weekend during the wintertime.
Yeah, okay.
But it is. It is what it is.
You're not doubling up a lot of days. You're doing a lot of half days right now. You're not. It doesn't seem like you're open every day.
So yeah, I was going through this year to last year, right? Trying to figure out where I was in sales last year to this year to figure out what the difference is. And I'm about
Shane has joined us on Riverside, and he says good morning.
Oh, I saw that. Hi, Shane. So I still have an outstanding invoice from U of M that's a week old. That's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
So they used to pay everybody with what they call a P card, which is basically their U of M card.
Okay.
Almost like a debit card, but whatever. And I guess now they changed it to where you have to be a vendor in their system. And they didn't tell me that. So I have to fill out this vendor sheet, put in my banking information, and
Gotta
hopefully
do a W-9 for them probably.
They already have one, I think.
Okay.
From me, from a previous event. Anyway, so I don't know if you can hear my dogs. I apologize.
Yes, we can. Notice we haven't heard mine once yet.
I know. I appreciate that. Are they down with your wife in the basement?
Nope. They were outside all day yesterday playing.
Oh, so
they are still a little fresh air hungover from yesterday.
A little tuckered out. So I am right now, when that invoice pays, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm up for the month when
Good.
that invoice pays.
Yeah, and
But
it will.
but I feel, and I know this is still freaking weird. I feel so much lower. Like
Hmm.
I feel like I haven't done anywhere near that, but I'm still on track to be better than last year this month.
Right.
And it's just I don't know what it is. It's so flipping weird. I don't know if it's
Well,
having the new trailer and it's more efficient for me. So I can, I'm not gonna say do a lot more, but move it faster. I don't know.
well, you get more efficient, you get faster every year. You know, your busy days from a year ago seem normal this year. You know, it takes a lot more to seem busy. Like we've done multiple $2,400 days that haven't had any catering in them, and they're nothing. You know, it's not like we're struggling through them.
But do you consider that getting your ass kicked when you have a $24 day?
No, not anymore.
I know, and it's weird.
So yeah,
Like,
we did 1,000. So when we were down at Midwest, we got our asses kicked only because of the online ordering stuff. I mean, we did
yeah,
$1,000 order or $1,000 day or hour. God, say the words right. And it only felt bad because we had 20 tickets right when
yeah,
we
they were
opened.
already popped.
So on a normal day, for us to do $1,000 hour isn't a big deal anymore. And a year and a half ago, me and Chris would be sitting outside after that hour trying to get some fresh air and sucking in some water, you know? And we would have been having to clean up the trailer because there would have been a sandwich thrown at some point in time. And
So I am, according to this, now I'm going to be way down on transactions though. So
well, your
I'm
average ticket's way up. Yeah.
well, average ticket's up 50%, but my transactions are down almost 40%.
We had that last year.
It's because I know this month I'm going to have two, I would say on the larger side catering gigs. So with specifically U of M and then the Bobcat dealership I did.
Why can't I see my transactions? Like I can see sales. So I can see my average total sale. I can see and so the sales trends.
Because you're under reports, just click on the home tab.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot where that was. Oh, I'm trying. Hello.
So I'm down. It only does for the prior months. It doesn't do
Year to year.
yeah.
And that's what that kind of is. But it's alive though, right? Isn't it? It's not. I thought it was. Hold on. That's there. Let's go. No, I can do year to year. We're up 12%. So from my home, right at the top, it says location and then date and then checks. So right above welcome back. If you click on date, you can go this year and it'll compare this year to last year. Live.
Yeah, I don't see it. Share your don't share your screen.
Yep. I don't mind. I got nothing on here that I need to hide. Hold on. Share screen.
Yeah, I have date too. It says April 2024.
If you click on it, it doesn't give you other options.
For just to pick a different date.
Come on through. See if I can crash my laptop with all the things I have going right now. All right, you can see it. You can see my cursor.
Location, yeah,
right there.
Date this year, yeah. Oh, okay. So you want? I was only just doing for the month of April. Okay, so this year.
Yeah.
This year I'm up 29%. I'm up 62% for the year, up 30% in transactions and 25% in sales or in average net. Ribs by far my number one seller.
Really?
By far. Like, I mean by far.
Is that by gross sales number or is
yeah,
item?
Gross sales. Items by gross sales. And my worst selling item is loaded potatoes with chicken.
So yeah, last year my transactions were way down and my average ticket was way up. This year we have now flip-flopped. So are my transactions. I'm up 12%, 12.3% in transactions, and my average sale is down 13%.
Problem is,
once we get our catering start to kick in, it usually bumps those numbers up a little bit.
I can't do transactions by year to or not year to year.
Why not?
So April of last year to April of this year. Like month over month. Sorry, yep. Month over month. Okay.
So when you select this month, it just does compared to March, not compared to last April.
Correct. It does the prior month.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other thing I would like to see in Square. Some better reporting that we can use.
If you click into transactions, it'll take you to the transactions tab. You can kind of do it there. You just have to go back to April of last year.
Okay.
And just do it into that. Yeah. So right now, 13th to the 1st.
So how many transactions do you have so far this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Hold on. I was doing math real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How bad that is.
It's pretty awful.
So I'm 117 transactions lower this year than I was April of last year. Just so you know.
Okay.
All right. So go to home. How many transactions total? For this year so far, 1,361.
So I'm at 1983.
I would have another 183, but so we ran a tab for that U of M thing, and I sent them basically the tab via invoice.
That's how we do it. Yeah.
Well, they said they couldn't do that because they're tax exempt and wanted me to take taxes off. Well, my taxes are included in the price, and I'd have to go into each individual item and turn the taxes off. I couldn't just give them like a tax discount.
Yes, you can.
No, I did, but it doesn't.
But if you do it in the invoice, so as you're creating the invoice, you can mark it as tax exempt on the invoice. Just do it as
from the
one
tab,
line item.
Though?
So just do it as one line. This is how we do it. If they're not paying at the register,
yes,
type of thing, so we just invoice them. So you just go in and create the invoice, and it's just one line item. So we just do full truck as a line item with the amount, and then you just take off the Michigan tax checkbox.
Correct. That's what I did the second invoice. The one that I sent them was their tab. You can tab their invoice, so they get a detailed list of what everybody bought. It was like, a shit ton of
You
pages.
Can send their tab as an invoice?
Absolutely. When you go to charge and it brings up how to pay, one of them is invoice.
I don't know that I've seen that.
Yeah, I've done it twice. This is the only. So the problem is when I did that though, I couldn't take taxes out because it was already part of each item. So when I tried to do a line item discount for the tax amount, and it didn't work because it lowered the overall amount and gave them more of a discount on taxes. So I just canceled the invoice and just sent one like you just said.
Yeah.
Tax exempt.
Yeah, I haven't done that. Normally, we just... You used to be able to delete tabs as a whole. Like you could swipe and delete the whole thing. Now you have to do it item by item.
Yes. Fucking sucks.
So I wonder if that changed once they did the invoice pay, when they added that on.
Yeah, it's possible. I still have 2 tabs in there that are like $2,000 that I can't get rid of.
So you have to just go into them and you have to delete each item line by line.
I think
once they're down to 0, they'll be gone.
I think what I might do is send them to myself as an invoice and then cancel the invoice.
I wonder if that would work.
You could. Then it'll be gone, but
it's
another way to do it.
So just take 5 minutes and just delete all the items, and then once it gets down to 0 items, just do pay $0. Yeah, we've had a couple where it's been like 300 items. I'm like, jeez. And we leave like every day. We'll go through and delete 30 or 40 of them at a time, and then it's board work.
It is board work.
So that's what we get paid for, Skippy. All these big dollars,
right?
I was hoping that we'd get into a little bit of POS talk, but I know I didn't have time to do any show prep, and I'm sure Skippy didn't either. So I think next week we'll try to do. Oh shit, we have a guest next week.
Why don't we
let's dedicate the last. So if we have her on from, should we include her in our weekly updates and everything from 9 to 10? Then we can do 10 to 10:30 as a POS.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Anybody that has questions about POSs in general, or specific questions about specific POS systems, or questions about specific POS questions, please don't do specific. How do you do this in some random POS system that no one's ever heard of?
So I have for
shoot those through to our Facebook, and then we will do our best to give an overview of probably the top 5 to 10 POS systems rated by whoever, Consumers Report or whatever. Justin Harris says he'll be the Easy Eats rep, I guess. Thank you, Justin. You're on call for any Easy Eats questions. So,
I would. I do have a contact at Toast. If we want to touch base with him too.
I have pulled up. I found a list from top10.com, and it was food truck POS systems. It listed 6. Apparently, couldn't find 10 good ones. So in order from 1 to 6: Toast, Clover, Spot On, POS Pros. This one surprised me. Oracle NetSuite, and then Square.
That's a ranking?
Yeah. Oh, these are okay. So they had Toast as first and Square as 6. But then if you look at the review, the number of stars, Toast is rated a 9.8, Spot On's an 8.8, Square's a 9.2, and listed below all these other, like POS Pros is a 7.5.
Gotcha.
And Square's listed below them. So I don't know how much faith we can put into that list, but any other ones you guys want us to kind of take a look at, we will do our best to do some overhead research on maybe some startup costs and what things, cost of entry, so to speak. So, along with features. So, sound good, Skippy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down.
Excellent. How's this week look for you? So the biggest thing I've noticed about your schedule is it doesn't seem to be super consistent yet.
Do you know why?
Number of days that you're open. Times of days
fucked up. I fucked up.
There's a lot of that going around this week. This episode.
No, I really, honestly, I really fucked up. So here's how I fucked up. I fucked up and I just dropped the F-bomb like 6 times, so I think YouTube would probably kick us off. So in the very beginning, when I was at the coffee shop,
yep,
I think I was concentrating more on that and what that could have been versus where I needed to go. Does that make sense?
Yep, 100%.
And I fucked up. So I didn't really book my calendar as well as I should have. And that screwed me. So I'm trying now, like as of last night even, just trying to find things. And I'm back to square one of where I was last year. Or not last year, but year before. Last year I had everything booked. I was good to go. I keep going back to my calendar from last year to see, hey, where am I missing that I haven't been yet?
Yeah.
And then I find that, okay, used to go to this brewery that's like 45 minutes away. It was a solid, $1,100-$1,300 for a night. So I asked them for dates. Well, every date's already picked. So I can't get there until maybe August. And I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. I have a bigger trailer now. You know how much? I didn't realize how much that was going to limit where I go. There's a lot of places that don't have room for 26, 30 feet trailers. And so, yeah, I think I screwed myself, but I have made I'm booking a lot of festivals per se. Your wife is asking to print something, I can tell.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of big festivals booked. Later in the year, of course, and I'm hoping that will make up for sales, but I fucked up. That's the only thing I can say.
I get it, and I'm glad that that's the reason, and you're not backing off for whatever reason. So, yeah,
Nope.
I'm sure you'll find spots. I'm sure. Yeah, it sucks because I understand completely how it happened, and you were focused on your new thing, and I mean, still that potential that's there of it maybe being something more at some point, or not.
and I shouldn't have been so concentrated on that.
Yeah, and that's I think the biggest concern with anybody that expands, even in that little fashion, is that you can't jeopardize what you have now in order to do that.
Yeah,
and that's, I mean, we potentially have some opportunity coming up, and I'm trying to push them to get details and kind of what their timeline is now, so I can prepare now versus we're going to do this next month. Are you in or out? I was like, I can't. I need more time. Like,
yeah.
I need more time.
Yeah,
to get all my ducks in a row.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking, Skippy? Maybe. I mean, if I'm assuming you're going to do the coffee shop next year again.
I will probably do it.
Continue to go through.
Yeah, I will probably do it in the off season.
Is it maybe a good idea for you to have a full-time-ish type person so that you don't lose sight, that you're so wrapped up in what's going on at the cafe that you can get, even if it's just for a couple days a week, it's for you to be able to step away and focus
You're just trying to get me to hire somebody.
Because I think the cost of hiring somebody will pay dividends for you.
So
it's amazing how much more you can get done and how much more you can book well.
It's
when you have the opportunity to sit down and focus on it.
So this week, actually last Thursday, I was supposed to be part of a local fellowship entrepreneurial program. And
we're going to have to go a few minutes long because we're getting blown up on YouTube. But go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, no, please. That's definitely better than that.
No. Finish your thought real quick.
So I decided, because I couldn't see an overall benefit of me taking a day off, because it's like 4 hours every Tuesday to learn more about being a business owner. All the different ways to be a business owner. It's also networking, stuff like that. And at the end of it, you have the ability to get a grant for up to $2,500, non-paid back, just a grant.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to pitch my business to people that I don't know, and and I don't have a problem talking to people. But I backed out because I saw the time constraints, and it was like I said, if I take a day off, that's sales that I don't have. And I have to choose to take that day off. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a choice that I wanted to make. So I decided not to pursue that. And I kind of backed out of the program. I said, next year, if I do have an employee, then that'll be different. But yeah, so, and I kind of feel like it could have been a good opportunity for me because I could learn more and be maybe more comfortable being a boss, I guess, like an owner that has people. But then I go back and I see all the problems that the cafe has with people and these are young kids that are, either in high school or just out of high school or whatever. And I'm like, do I really want to deal with that? And that's the end all, is, do I really want to deal with that?
Yes.
And it's, for me, there's other stuff that I know that I can utilize better than I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. I can utilize online ordering more than I do now. Like, that's one big thing. It was just not traveling to 17 different stores to get what I need. Mm-hmm. So I know that there's stuff that I have to work on first to get myself into a more efficient role before I can expect somebody else to be the same thing.
Well, first of all, don't ever expect anybody to care about your business the way you do.
Yes.
And you're going to have duds. I've hired 6. We've been through 6 people. Does that sound right? Somewhere around there. And we've had 2 that have not worked out. It's going to happen. But you got to recognize it quickly and correct the problem quickly. If you have a culture in your truck that is... Are you sharing a screen?
Mm-mm.
Oh. The stream I have up of YouTube apparently is way behind on the video section. I'm just now seeing this, me sharing my square. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, don't, for those that are weary about hiring somebody because of the cost, that employee will pay for themselves in the amount that you can do for your business. Yes, you're going to have bad people, but there's plenty of good people out there too. Take care of them, they'll take care of you.
Yeah,
and not
I
just
agree.
Monetarily, but monetarily helps. You're probably going to have to overpay people for what the market rate is for a food service employee.
Fuck, I already overpay people
I
just
know.
to help me out. So it
Yep.
doesn't, I'm not worried about, here's the thing, is I'm not worried about payment. I'm not worried about that sort of stuff. I look at a calendar. I'm like, okay, if I have, there's 26 days in a working month, right? Something like that. 20
You're
days.
open 6 days a week. Yeah.
Yeah, 26 days. And if I look at it and I have, I don't know, 25 events that I can do myself, whether they be roadside, whether at a brewery or whatever like that, I look at wasted money. Like somebody's there that doesn't need to be there.
Okay, but what could you be doing if you're not there?
I have no idea. I don't.
I don't know. You have a whole calendar that you need to book.
I get it. I mean, but I can do that in the slow times.
Then why? But are you well?
Are
you doing that well?
I'm working on it. I mean, I'm working on it.
There's marketing you can do. There's other things that you can do.
True.
There's plenty to do.
I haven't run ads yet this year.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I need to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
Plenty of stuff you can do to take advantage of that time that will help your business.
I know.
All right. Now, back to the topic that everybody wants. To get to some overrated? Of these. Let's see. JT says, still don't know if bark is overrated or not. A cliffhanger for next week. Bubba says, trying to avoid the subject. He fucked up.
No, and
then Fran says, have you looked at constant contact process? I have not. I'm not there yet, but I might in the future. I know I'm capable of keeping everything straight. For me, again, it's just time. And the first part of the year been so chaotic. With me being on the truck more than I've wanted to, that a lot of these conversations that get had over a quick email, by the time I get back to a spot where I can get them situated, they either get forgotten or whatever. So that's all that is.
So to piggyback off of that real quick, what you just said kind of made me think about something, and what I think it was Bernie said too. In your Facebook messaging, do you utilize an auto response?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about an auto response. Like if you're looking for catering, please visit our website because there's a contact us tab on there.
Yeah.
I was thinking about using that as a response, but I was telling my wife, because my wife's like, why can't you put your phone down? And I'm like, well, it's because I'm trying to find stuff and I'm trying to respond to people and comments, things like that. And she's like, but there's business hours and things like that people have to understand. I said, okay. But being ingrained in the mortgage business for 15 years, that was my business. Like if anybody called, it's just something that's a habit. So it's something we had a discussion about this weekend. It's just a habit. I have a hard time with it too. And we talked about it, I think, last week, that I'm getting close to stop answering messages and stuff after a certain point of evening. But it's hard because people are reaching out to multiple trucks for some things. Yeah, and you want to be the first to respond. It's a first come, first serve type of thing in a lot of situations. But anyway, exactly. Brisket and bark, is it overrated? I like the flavor of the bark. I like a softer bark though. I don't like chewy bark. Correct. There's my thing. If you're cooking a Texas brisket, like Bubba is, and other people are, I think yes, bark is important because you're slicing it, and it's more of a presentation piece. If you're doing what we're doing and chopping it for sandwiches, I don't think it's as much of a presentation piece. You're still getting your flavor, but you don't have to worry about that. I like seeing it in the sandwich, like the pieces of bark. Yeah. But yeah, for the way that I cook, and the bark is soft, so it's there. There's definitely that layer of It's my dog's, not yours.
No, mine was doing something weird. I thought he was rubbing his butt on the carpet.
Scooting.
You definitely have that section of smoke and rub right there. That's a solid.
Pardon?
A solid layer there. It's not a wet. You can't wipe off the rub type of thing.
Correct.
Which I think is what bark is. You know, it's a solidified layer of flavor and seasoning on the outside of whatever piece of meat. So I just don't like it to get too right, and I've had it that way before, where it's jerky-ish. That first eighth of an inch of the meat.
I think it depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
I think there's good bark and there's bad bark.
There is, absolutely,
in my opinion. So,
but I do think bark is overrated. Just like in competition, I think bark is overrated.
I disagree, but I think because that's where the majority of your flavor is.
I don't think so. I don't. Why would that? I mean, is it there? Yeah. I don't. You cook yours fat side up. I cook mine fat side down.
What's that to do with anything about bark?
It's where your bark is coming from. So your bark, your flavor, your bark is in a pan, surrounded by juices, right? So I cook mine open until I wrap it in the morning.
Okay.
So I'm technically getting more bark than you.
Well, I don't wrap mine at all until it goes in the cabinet.
I understand, but I'm getting more bark than you because you take off your fat cap, which is.
We're getting going now. We're going to be on the air until 2:00 this afternoon. JT says layers of flavor. Skippy, then why season at all? Just add the seasoning when you chop them up.
Because the longer you cook, the seasoning definitely seeps into the meat. I mean,
that is,
of course, it's going
100% not factual.
Not seeps. What's the word? Salt brings the moisture out.
JT says I got all day. I don't.
I don't either.
And also
I'm not saying
strictly
you don't
brisket.
Well, I'm not saying you don't get any flavor from the quote unquote bark. I'm saying that.
So flavor's overrated.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If flavor's overrated, then why, when you're done with your pork, do you season it afterwards?
For more flavor.
Okay. So
it's why do you? It's heavy. It's just a little bit.
I know. But why do you cook with seasoning on top if you're just going to season it again?
Because the seasoning that's on top is also inside.
It's inside? Why is it inside?
How's it inside?
You inject it?
Because we shred our pork, and then it's mixed all together. So what's on the outside is on the inside, and what's on the inside is on the outside.
Sure.
And cooked seasoning tastes different than raw seasoning.
That is true. Melts, so
you have two different flavors there. But you're just talking about, so
I also think smoke's overrated. The amount of smoke,
heavy smoke is overrated.
Like the amount of smoke that you get. I love how Bubba said that I didn't turn my smoker on when I decided to take yesterday off. Considering he uses a CTO, which has a plug on it. But I get picked on for using a pellet cooker. I like the flavor of a pellet cooker. I think it gives enough smoke. I think it does what it needs to do.
JT says, I cook no wrap, get bark, then chop up and add some seasoning and some sauce into the chop brisket. We're pretty much the same. I don't add sauce into anything. Everything's on the side for the sauce. So yeah, we cook fat side up. It works better for us. I still get bark. There still is bark. I'll do a video of and they're out there. It's on TikTok. It's on Facebook. Me slicing our brisket. You can definitely see the layer of bark there. For me, that's as long as it's not toast, that corner piece, that first slice is my favorite piece of brisket. Where you get that little nugget that's that big, and it's just all rub and meat. That's my favorite pice of brisket. I'll take that over a burnt end any day.
Ooh, that's fighting words.
I think burnt ends are overrated.
Oh, not for what I can charge for them. I noticed in one of your videos that you slice your ribs and then do you put them in a pan afterwards? So are they all sliced when you put them back in the warmer?
Yeah. We slice them into quarters.
Quarters?
Quarter racks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the video
They're
I
not
saw.
individual bones.
On the video I saw, it looked like you were slicing individuals.
No, those are quarter racks.
Okay.
Because we do half racks.
Yeah.
We only do half racks and full racks.
That's
so
what I
don't want to put 10. We used to do it that way because we also used to do a sampler, or we had a rib meal that was like 2 bones and do a sampler. Yeah, 2 bones, a quarter pound and a quarter pound. But then the problem we had is what constitutes a full rack? How many bones?
10 to 12.
Well, you can't. No, if you're doing all individual bones.
Oh, yeah. If you're doing individual bones, yeah.
Then you gotta set an amount.
Yeah.
And then if you, for whatever reason, have a short rack, all of a sudden now you're losing.
Yeah, I say 10 to 12.
Half a rack of sales. And we have that now where if we get a short rack, so let's say we cook 6 racks, one of them's or 2 of them are a little wonky. So we're essentially going to lose a quarter rack off of each one. We're only going to get 3 good quarters off each of them. So we lose a half. So we're only going to sell 5.5 racks, even though we cooked 6.
You wouldn't change. You wouldn't change your half rack to like 5 to 6 bones.
That's what we tell people, that a half rack is 5 to 6 and a full rack is 10 to 12. But you know how ribs are, and there's
that end bone will.
You get a weird rack where the last 4 bones are all either that tall, or it's just cut. It's cut in a way that's weird. And
how's tips going?
Rib tips?
Yeah,
good. We sell out of them more often than not.
Good.
So they're definitely doing their job. They've been good. Things have been good, man. Banana pudding is still our number 5 bestseller. Loaded mac, small mac and cheese sides, and piglet. I was surprised that potato salad is our number 2 best-selling side this year so far.
Really?
Blew me away. Yeah, we've been selling potato salad like crazy this year. I don't understand why all of a sudden, but
just cause.
Yeah, just cause. Anyways, we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Skippy and I have work to
do. You guys got 12 minutes of extra time.
Yeah. For POS questions next week, shoot those to our Facebook. We'd love to hear them. We'd love to have a good discussion about that. If you guys want to fight about other stupid barbecue stuff.
Welcome to the Bark is Overrated podcast.
I'd much rather do it. I'd much rather do that around a fire at a barbecue contest in the middle of the night with some good bourbon. So if we can arrange that
this weekend.
To do that. No, I am busy. Some of us are working. Stop doing contests and stuff.
No, I got
that. We need to arrange something in the off season somewhere.
Sure.
We'll do that when we're in Florida. So everybody that's coming to Florida, we will find a spot to all get together and have a drink together and talk about things.
Yep.
So, all right, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great day. Don't forget, those new to the show that are listening, make sure you subscribe and follow wherever you're listening at. And also find us on Facebook, PB&J's of Michigan for Skippy over there.
Sweet Barbecue of Michigan.
Sorry. Sweet Racks Barbecue on Facebook for me. And then Monday Morning Food Truck, of course. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.